Hi everyone, welcome back. So we're still on step 1 of your basic strategy. We're done with grammar now, and we're going to go over to lexical points, which is your vocabulary. And in this lesson, we're going to look at linking words in particular. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can learn English with me every week and you can keep working towards that C1 exam. Okay, let's get into it then. So let's take a look straight away at an example of something that you might get. So you have he passed the exam even though he didn't study at all, and you have the word spite. Okay, so we have two different linking words here. You have even though, and your word is spite. So you know that this is going to replace this linking word straight away. But you need to know how to use spite as a linking word. What structure does it take? Does it take the same structure as even though? Okay, let me know. I'll give you 10 seconds. How are you going to complete this sentence? Have a look. Try and complete it. Okay, your answer looks like this. He passed the exam in spite of not studying at all. Okay, so you didn't actually have the full linking word. You needed in spite of straight away. And in spite of cannot take the same structure as even though. It only takes a verb and ing. And then you also had to add that negative element from didn't. You needed to add that in there. Okay, so you passed the exam in spite of not studying at all. So this is why linking words are really important. You need to know not only what they mean, but also what structures they go with. This is really important. They'll always test you on these. Again, in most of the practice tests I've looked at, you'd have at least one linking word question, or one question that tests you on linking words. So we're going to take a quick recap of some specific linking words and the structures that they take. Okay, so we're going to start with despite and in spite of, which we just looked at then in the example. So despite and in spite of contrasts two clauses in the same sentence. A clause is a part of a sentence. You usually have 2 or 3 clauses in one sentence. Okay. So you've got an example here, despite not studying, he passed the exam. You'll notice it has a verb and ing there. You cannot say despite not to study. That is not correct. You need a verb and ing with in spite of. Okay. So with in spite of or with despite, you can use a verb and ing, or you can use a noun as well. But you cannot use a subject-verb-object clause. Only a noun and verb and ing. For example, despite his lack of study. Lack of study is a noun phrase. Okay, he passed the exam. Or despite not studying, he passed the exam. Both of these are correct. And you can basically replace in spite of with despite, and it has exactly the same meaning. Okay, despite not studying, he passed the exam. In spite of not studying, he passed the exam. There's no difference in meaning there, and they take the same structure. Okay? Okay, so that's despite in spite of. Let's move on and take a look at although and even though. Okay, so these are the same. They contrast 2 different clauses in the same sentence. But here is an example. So although he didn't study, he passed the exam. So now you can see we have a subject-verb-object phrase. So although can take a subject-verb-object. It cannot take a verb and ing. Cannot say although not studying. Okay, despite not studying, in spite of not studying, but not although not studying. And it's the same with an infinitive. You cannot say although not to study. Okay, we need a subject, verb, object structure. And again, you can replace although with even though, and it means exactly the same thing. although he didn't study, he passed the exam. Okay, so although and even though work in the same way as despite and in spite of, in that they're synonyms, but they just take a different structure. Okay, so although he didn't study, he passed the exam. Even though he didn't study, he passed the exam. They're exactly the same. Okay, and finally, let's look at however. So you'll notice here we have a completely different sentence structure. He didn't study for his exam at all. However, he passed it. So however actually contrasts two different sentences, not two different clauses in the same sentence. And however always starts the second sentence. Okay? You cannot say, however he didn't study for his exam, he passed it. That is not grammatically correct. Okay, so here's a ton more cohesive devices for you, or linking words for you. So you've got tons to add information here. You can use all of these to add information. Furthermore, moreover, what's more. You'll notice a lot of them to add information have the word more within them. Furthermore, moreover, what's more. Okay. Contrasting linkers, whereas, even though, although, despite, in spite of, however. Nonetheless, in contrast, and on the other hand. If you want to show a cause, you can use because, consequently, for this reason, since, as, therefore, as a result. And then you have your time ones as well. Okay, so there's lots of linking words you might get tested on, but a lot of them tend to be contrasting linking words, again, because we have lots of different ways to make sentences, and you can use them kind of as synonyms, basically. If this video really helped you and you want to learn more about keyword transformation, this video is actually part of a full course that I have on Cambridge C1 keyword transformation. There's a coupon link in the description below. You can get the full course for just $9.99, which is about the same price as this t-shirt I'm wearing right now. And if for any reason you don't like the course, I also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've really got nothing to lose. So go ahead, click the link in the description below. That'll take you to the full course, and by the end, you'll be an absolute pro. I'll see you in the course. Bye.